And it is time for our feature contest, undoubtedly the biggest women's boxing match of 2018. Claressa Shields taking on Hanna Gabriels, who you see here in the entranceway, a hero in the boxing community in Costa Rica, regarded as the best 154-pound women's fighter in the world. Meeting Shields at a catch weight at 160 pounds. And there are some who have suggested that maybe this is a bit of a trap fight for Shields. We saw Christina Hammer fight earlier on tonight. She defeated Tori Nelson, excuse me. Shields and Nelson fought earlier on this year. Shields and Hammer are considered to be on a collision course. Now, that fight is hanging in the balance here. Hanna Gabriels is certainly no pushover, a longtime veteran champion who, after just one amateur bout, has gone on to a tremendous professional career, picking up titles at 154 and now vying for the two vacant titles at 160 that are on the line here tonight. See Gabriels with her husband, Brian Vasquez, the 130-pound contender who also trains her. And now you hear the ovation inside the Masonic Temple in Detroit, Michigan, for perhaps Michigan's favorite fighter, one of the best in the world, Claressa Shields, a unified super middleweight champion. Pretty good super middleweight behind her in Andre Durrell, walking her to the ring. Shields now looking to unify in another division. She said she had to drop over 20 pounds in training camp to get down here to 160. This was the best fight available to her. Another one of the biggest names in women's boxing that Shields is trying to pick off in the infancy of her pro career, and she is fired up. Capacity crowd here at the Masonic Temple. Ready for what should be a tremendous fight. Claressa Shields and Hanna Gabriels, the IBF and WBA middleweight titles on the line. Let's send it down to our ring announcer
ladies
for
and
the official
gentlemen.
introductions.
Welcome again to the historic Masonic Temple here in the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan, where tonight's fights are being brought to you by Salida Promotions and Showtime. Tonight's sponsors are Greektown Hotel and Casino, Superior Buick Cadillac GMC, Anita Active, 5 Hour Energy, and Hotel St. Regis, Detroit. This matchup has been sanctioned by the State of Michigan Unarmed Combat Commission. Commission members in attendance tonight are Scott Affolter, Bob Howe, Cheyenne Burning, Sheila Howe, Todd Skinner, and Kevin McMillian. Introducing the judges as appointed: Michael Ancona, Jeremy Hayes, and Pasquale Procopio. Your referee in charge of keeping the fight clean, fair, and exciting is Gerard White. And now, boxing fans, it's time to throw down. This contest is your main event of the evening. 10 rounds of boxing for the vacant WBA and IBF female middleweight championships. Presenting first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks trimmed in white. Standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, she weighed in at 159 1/2 pounds. She brings with her to the ring a record of 18 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw, with 11 of those victories coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing Alajuela by way of Tabarcia de Mora, San Jose, Costa Rica, here is the former WBO female welterweight and current WBO female junior middleweight champion of the world, Hanna La Amazona Gabriels. Her opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the maroon trunks trimmed in gold. Standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, she weighed in at 159 1/2 pounds. She comes to the ring undefeated with a record of 5 wins and no losses, with 2 of those victories coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing Flint, Michigan, here is the 2-time Olympic gold medalist and the current IBF and WBC female super middleweight champion of the world, Claressa T-Rex Shields. Referee Gerard White with final fight instruction.
2 seconds only, 2 seconds only. Ladies, we're going over rules in the dressing room. I expect a spirited, passionate event, okay? The trunks here are a little high. We're going to let it work here and up. They're a little high here. We'll let it work to the middle and up. Keep your punches in front. Keep it fair. Keep it clean. Touch them up. Let's go to work, ladies.
And we take a look at the tail of the tape, Claressa Shields and Hanna Gabriels. You see the measurables very even. That despite the fact that Shields is coming down from 168, Gabriels is coming up from 154. And of course, the unified rules are in effect here tonight. No standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight. The fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round, and the fight will be official after 4 rounds should there be an accidental clash of heads. Round 1. This one's scheduled for 10 2-minute rounds. Shields in the silver and red, Hanna Gabriels in the black trimmed with white. Gabriels a very herky-jerky style, a lot of movement. Very good footwork. These two are throwing bombs here in the early going. Expect this to be the biggest test of Shields' career, and we referenced the possibility of a clash of heads. Just saw one just a moment ago. Seemingly no abrasions on either fighter. Misses over the top of the right hand, but comes right back with a left hook. Looks for that same shot. Manages to catch Gabriels with another left hook on the inside. Shot combination to the body from Gabriels, and an uppercut drops Shields for the very first time in her career.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
A shocker here in round 1. Hanna Gabriels may be looking for the finish. Shields briefly trying to keep her composure, but now she's firing away.
Time. Mouthpiece. Mouth time.
And a welcome reprieve here for Shields, who has lost her mouthpiece.
Pop it in. No coaching.
And we'll get some much needed seconds here.
Pop it in. Mouthpiece.
John David Jackson taking every additional second to get that mouthpiece back in. This is uncharted territory for Shields.
Get that mouthpiece.
Final 10 seconds of a shocking first round. Hanna Gabriels puts Shields on the floor.
Time! That's on the table here. Bam. Let's go. Take your time and relax.
okay? Let me get it. Work behind.
Water.
I got it. You're too anxious. Take your time. Work the jab, cut the ring up and go to the body. Use those feints, okay? She's trying to sucker you in. She's here, bouncing. Put that jab downstairs and upstairs. Don't look for that long right hand. Step in with that short
Let's
right
take a
hand
look at
and
this
cross it out.
knockdown.
Step in.
There was the
Take your
uppercut.
time. The jab is good. You're getting away from it.
And there may have been a balance issue, but at the same time, that was a flush shot. The mouthpiece came out, and you see almost a look of bewilderment on the face of Shields, who has never experienced anything like that before, taking a deep breath before she gets back to her feet. Wow, round 2 underway. We did not expect this to start this way. We expected a competitive fight. We knew that Hanna Gabriels was a serious challenge, but until you see something like that happen to a dominant champion like Shields, it remains incredibly surprising. Crowd here in Detroit trying to rally behind Shields. We were relatively silent in the latter stages of that opening round.
Upper head.
Feeling of shock amongst the audience. Shields looking composed here in the second round. You heard John David Jackson tell her that Gabriels is looking to bounce on her toes and sucker you in for counter shots. And this is much better work for Claressa Shields, who lands a couple of big left hooks. Now working off her jab. Initiating these exchanges on her terms, and she might have rocked Gabriels back with a right hand over the top.
Work out of that. Let her go over there. Work out of that.
A lot of people talked about this fight as simply a prelude to an eventual fight between Shields and Christina Hammer. But this is not just a pass-go moment for Shields, who finds herself in a real fight. Legendary Motor City Cobra Tommy Hearns sitting ringside. Always very supportive of the Michigan boxing scene.
Concéntrese, mami, respire. El ojo inflamado. Tiene que subir la mano. Si no sube la mano, le van a seguir lastimando el ojo. Si entra con ella a chocar, le va a seguir lastimando el ojo. ¿Ok? Abajo y se mueve. Abajo y se mueve. Abajo y se mueve. Tranquila, no entra a chocar. Pintela. ¡El agua!
Take a look back at some of the action from round 2. Really good work here from Shields, looking for retribution from that opening round knockdown. As round 3 begins, you have to think in rounds this is an even fight. That 10-8 round for Hanna Gabriels will potentially loom large as this fight progresses. If Shields can't wrestle the momentum entirely in her favor. Short hook on the inside from Shields. Hand speed. Shields just blinding Gabriels there. A lot of those shots, almost throwaway punches for the purpose of landing that left hook. Well, that right hand a moment ago, that was thrown with one purpose. Bad intentions on some of those shots from Shields. Whereas Gabriel's standing still a little more often than we saw in the opening 2 rounds.
Ladies, work out. Stop.
You have to wonder, too, if perhaps Gabriel's She's kind of fallen in love with her power, thinking that perhaps she can stop Shields, and she has good reason to believe she can hurt Shields. She's done it. She might want to get back to how she set that shot up in the first round. We haven't seen that kind of fluid movement we saw from her in the opening frame ever since the bell rang to end round one. Another good competitive round. In all likelihood, this one edging towards Shields as well.
That was a good round. You're giving her too much time. See, she's trying to suck and drive her way through it now. Because she felt your power. That was a good body shot you threw early. You get a chance, go back to the body for me. That's going to set that right hand up for you. But do me a favor, when you fire that right hand, come back with the hook.
See a big right hand over the top from Shields. And brings one right down the pipe, and then again, 3 good right hands in that sequence.
Everything
You heard
okay?
John David Jackson in the corner. Want Shields to follow up with a left hook after that
Everything
shot.
okay? Four. Mouthpiece. 4. Stop.
Round 4 begins. Claressa Shields and Hanna Gabriels for the unified middleweight title of the world. 2 sanctioning body belts on the line in this contest as the champion from 154, Gabriels, has moved up. Shields has moved down to 160.
Bring that one up.
That's important to consider too as we talk about the movement of Hanna Gabriels, that she is carrying a little more weight on fight night than she's been used to for the vast majority of her career. Work there from Gabriels. Snuck a left hook into the body.
Work out of that, ladies. Work out.
We're seeing a little more of what Gabriels was successful at in the first round here in this round. Using the perimeter, kind of going for a walk, and waiting for Shields to jump in, or ambushing Shields herself, just throwing off Shields' timing and range. You see right now, she is nowhere in punching range, and then jumps in with that jab. Shot on the inside there from Shields. A little rough stuff to end that round. A better round for Hanna Gabriels as this fight continues to be incredibly competitive as we look in Gabriel's corner. Her husband, Brian Vasquez.
Un poquito la bota. Tranquila. Abajo primero. La recta. No suelte el golpe abajo. Cuando menos solo suelta, ya sube su estamina. No lo suelte abajo. No va a tener intercambio. Ok, se puede. Está haciendo buen trabajo.
Round 5 of what has been a very evenly matched affair thus far between Claressa Shields and Hanna Gabriels. Certainly by far the most resistance Shields has felt as a professional and in a long time in general, since that much talked about amateur loss to Savannah Marshall many, many years ago when Shields was just a teenager. Good right hand connects there from Shields. Starting to find her timing. Meeting Gabriels as she jumps in with these combinations. Shields' corner called for more body work. Frankly, it's difficult to do, difficult to execute against a fighter who moves quite as much as Gabriels does. The cuffing right hand there from Shields as the intensity picks up once again. Another shot connects over the top from Shields. Gabriels, at least temporarily, backs off on picking up the tempo. Shields just putting the earmuffs on, trying to walk Gabriels down. Gabriels with a stiff jab right there. A very good round for Shields, who looks like she might have figured out the tricky style of Hanna Gabriels there in round 5. Crowd in attendance here at the Masonic Temple in Detroit, Michigan. Of course, earlier on, you saw Christina Hammer and Tori Nelson. Now you're seeing likely the biggest fight on the women's boxing calendar this year, Shields and Hanna Gabriels. You saw Gabriels dropping Shields for the first time in her pro career. That will be a moment that will be talked about regardless of the outcome of this fight. And right now, particularly after round 5, the needle seems to be edging towards the dominant Claressa Shields, but again, with far more resistance than we've ever seen in her pro career. Round 6 underway. Consider too that although Gabriels is far more experienced as a professional, he did only have one amateur fight. I don't need to remind you about Shields' credentials as she smacks her gloves together and says, "Come on."
Stop! Get back! Don't push it. Box!
Two-time Olympic gold medalist. Solid right hand connects a moment ago from Shields. Right hand to the body a moment ago as well. That's what John David Jackson has been looking for since round 2. Hanna Gabriels, the only world champion ever from Costa Rica. Although there is a vibrant boxing scene in Costa Rica, many club shows happening in Costa Rica all the time, it is Gabriels who is the leading figure in Costa Rican boxing.
Bring it up, Hanna.
Shields trying to play off the ropes. Works well. She hammers Gabriels back with a couple of sledgehammer-like right hands. Pair of good right hands rocks Gabriels back into the ropes. And a big flurry as Gabriels lost her footing a moment ago and will get a welcome reprieve as the bell sounds.
Good round, good round.
Take a look back at some of the action from the previous round. Both these women just swinging for the fences here. As Gabriels trying to replicate what she did in round 1. And Shields firmly believes that she can stop Gabriels, and towards the end of round 6, did look like she might have had Gabriels hurt. Certainly had Gabriels on the run. See if she can pick up where she left off. Here as round 7 begins. Shields again working off the ropes here. Gabriels giving her a lot to look at, but Shields, an excellent counterpuncher, and now looks like she might have Gabriels rattled once again. Claressa Shields has had to show more dimensions in this fight than in any other we've seen her in her pro career thus far. Gabriels is by far the most accomplished, dangerous opponent that she's faced. And even if you have Shields winning every round after the first round in the knockdown, there is no doubt that these rounds have been competitive, and they've been very instructive in terms of showing the full arsenal of Shields. Seconds tick away here in round 7. Gabriel still trying to fire as the round comes to a close. And there is Christina Hammer. She was victorious earlier on tonight, now with a ringside view of her potential future foe. See some more of the good work from Shields, working off the ropes. That's something that she likes to do and has done with great success in her previous fights. And a little more danger doing it against Gabriels.
Vámonos, respire, tranquila, aprovecha.
Look in Gabriel's corner.
Here for you. Okay? That's working good.
Round 8, 3 rounds to go here in this women's middleweight title unification bout. It's been a good one between Claressa Shields and Hanna Gabriels here at the Masonic Temple in Detroit, Michigan. Great fight town, not far from where Shields grew up and continues to live in Flint, Michigan. Shields, of course, very much part of the Detroit boxing community, spends time training and sparring here. Good right hand. Counter shot from Shields. And now a clash of heads.
Watch your heads, ladies.
Certainly perturbed Shields.
Work out of there, ladies. Work out of there. You want to work? Stop. Step back. Let her go.
Gabriels has done some good work to the body in this fight. I mean, are a lot of these combinations that she is landing as she leaps in. Good jab from Gabriels as well. The problem is that she's getting countered upstairs. And to a degree, I think Shields is okay with letting Gabriels throw those shots, some of which are getting caught on her elbows, so that she can counter with hard stuff up top. You saw it right there. Another right hand right at the bell from Claressa Shields.
Good round. Thank you. Good round for you. Good round. The body work was nice. And you came back with hook every time.
There was the clash of heads you saw Shields complaining about. Maybe a little too sportsmanlike
She was the one that came down.
from Gabriels, who didn't capitalize on the moment there.
Finish with the hook for me. Okay? That's a good round for you. Kill with my neck jab. All you're trying to do is bait you in now. Every now and then give her a little feint. Very good round for you. Here we go. Good round.
Two rounds left to go here in Detroit. Shields and Gabriels coming down to the wire here. And a valuable experience for Shields, who isn't out of the weeds quite yet. Hanna Gabriels showing that she can be dangerous. She did drop Shields for the first time in her pro career in the first round, but since then, I think an argument can be made that Shields has won every round since then. I think there might have been a round, maybe two in there that you could give to Gabriels. But by and large, Shields has bounced back, but this is some very good work from Gabriels, particularly to the body. But again, just like we talked about, Shields willing to absorb some of those shots to come back with big left hooks and straight right hands. You saw it again a moment ago.
Stop. Step back.
Shields showing a lot of poise, getting up off the canvas, making the necessary adjustments. The right hand connects right on that left eye that we saw in the corner is starting to swell on Hanna Gabriels. And connects flush right on the chin of Gabriels. Now again, good flurries on the ropes. Shields willing to absorb it, to land heavy stuff coming off the ropes once again.
Last round.
Yo que estaba.
Round, hun. Your eye okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Right?
Es el último.
Perfect.
Do the top one low. Grab me that ice bag.
Para sobre la verga.
Ice bag.
Súbela por el centro también. Ah, olvídala, sube. Se puede, ¿no?
2 minutes.
Vamos más.
Last round. Rush.
Let's hear it, Detroit. This is the 10th and final round in your main event.
Well, that was the quietest I have heard Claressa Shields' corner heading into a final round. Usually by now, Shields is fired up. She's talking to her corner about how she can stop her opponent. Shields looking much more focused in the 10th round. That doesn't mean that she isn't winning this fight. In all likelihood, she has won most of the rounds since that opening round knockout. But I think you saw in the face of of Claressa Shields that she knows that this has been a real fight, and for the last 2 minutes of this will continue to be a real fight. Hanna Gabriels has definitely given Shields the sternest test of her pro career to this point.
Watch your head.
Into the body. Shields climbs the ladder with a hook now. Digs a left hook right along the belt line. Now just crowding Gabriels. A lot of the inside work in this fight has typically occurred with Shields, with her back to the ropes. Now, it's Shields who's the aggressor and initiating some of this work on the inside. And
Time in. Box.
like one of the fighters has suffered a cut. We heard the referee indicating as such. Both fighters flurrying on the inside. Gabriels has stayed very busy throughout this fight, and even if Shields has got the better of these exchanges, Gabriels has certainly forced the issue from bell to bell. Terrific fight between Shields and Gabriels. Cut underneath the eye of Shields. That was sustained in the 10th round. Clash of heads. Less than a minute left to go in the fight.
Nice tough fight. We wanted that.
A whole bunch of firsts for Shields here tonight. More adversity that she has faced thus far in her pro career.
I love it. I love it. You got up and you did your goddamn thing. I'm proud of you. You made your first tonight. You did no motherfucking thing. Love the fact that you stepped on your ass. It's okay. You just deal with that shit 100%.
Sorry for the language, but heard Andre Durrell echoing exactly what I just said. He told Claressa Shields, you faced adversity here tonight, and this is what we're talking about. Here it is in just a moment. First time Shields has touched the canvas as a pro, but from that moment on, Shields made the necessary adjustments. She found her timing. She found her distance against Gabriels, who it's tricky to negotiate on both fronts. With all of her movement, somewhat unorthodox style, she's crafted by learning on the job in the professionals. And that's not to say that these rounds weren't competitive. Gabriels was giving it everything she had round after round. She was forcing Shields into exchanges. She was hitting Shields to the body. From my vantage point, it was Shields who was getting the best of those exchanges the vast majority of the time. But to even push Shields the way that Gabriels did, that takes a tremendous fighter. Again, these are two of the very best women's fighters in the world. And that was a tremendous fight to watch, no matter the outcome. As for the outcome, looks like we will find out right now. Let's send it down to our ring announcer to make this one official.
Applause for both of the fighters in this ring. After 10 championship rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Judge Procopio scores the contest 97-92. Judge Ancona scores the contest 98-91. And Judge Hayes scores the contest 97-92. All for your winner by unanimous decision and new WBA and IBF female middleweight champion of the world, Claressa Shields.
So Claressa Shields battles through adversity to pick up 2 of the middleweight titles. A unified champion once again. And what a performance from Hanna Gabriels as well. Those scorecards don't reflect that. 97-92, those may be accurate scores, but they aren't reflective of how fun, of how competitive that fight was, and how much Shields had to work to win that fight. Of course, coming off the canvas, but then really having to work to win each and every round from there on. A tremendous performance once again from Claressa Shields.